Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Runt's Fireside Chat. This is a series where, kind of podcast style, I just issue my brain a notice to enter a stream of consciousness of just flood a bunch of words down to my mouth. I say them into a microphone and you watch and listen, and hopefully it's enjoyable and positive and creates just a little bit more happiness in your day. I tend to try to focus on either positive topics or take things that might potentially be negative and skew them in a positive light. And, needless to say, over the past week, a lot of things have been happening. And I thought that on that note of trying to build positivity out of negative situations, I obviously immediately want to address the giant elephant affecting us all around the world. And, it's something that I wish that it didn't lean into potential political things. I very much try to keep politics out of my streams, my YouTube channel, that kind of stuff. But I do just want to say that my heart goes out to any and all of you affected by COVID-19, whether it be affected directly via catching the virus, affected indirectly via having close family members, friends, colleagues affected by it, but also to all of you who are affected by it by losing your job or having hours cut or things like that. I know that a lot of people are going through very tough times right now, and maybe you're turning to watching other people play video games as an outlet, as a distraction. I hope that if you have found that comfort in my channel, that I can continue to be a source of happiness and excitement and positivity and entertainment in your life, as we all collectively, as one unit on this earth, pull through this global pandemic. I know we will. I know that we're all strong, and despite how bad things might become, I know that on the other side we will all, as humanity, come out stronger and prosper in the wake of what is a very serious, unfortunate, ongoing happening. And just briefly mentioning that, I have been very fortunate to be very minimally affected by it, and I am incredibly grateful for the opportunities that I have. My full-time job is already fully remote. Everyone at my company already worked remotely, and so none of us are losing hours. None of us are getting laid off. It's a very small startup, and our business is still running. And I know that I am very much in the minority by being unaffected by this. And, I can't even fathom what some of you are going through. And again, my heart goes out. I wish you all the best. And if there's anything that I can do from a content creator perspective, anything that I can play that you would like to see me play, if there's anything that I can talk about that you would like to see me talk about, let me know. If I can help even just one person crack a smile during a difficult time. I kind of mentioned this in the last video. I do this to make people happy. I do this to entertain. And I hope that I can provide my own source of just distraction and entertainment in these trying times. And, that's kind of where I want to leave that topic off. I wanted to make sure I addressed it and made sure that it was clear that I'm not distancing myself from the topic, and that, my thoughts on it are basically, I understand how serious it is. I'm taking my own precautions, me and my girlfriend both, and that, I just hope that it ends as quickly as possible and we can all get back to the lives that we've been leading before. But moving on from that, ultimately, a lot has happened over the past week, and not just because of COVID-19. For me personally, as a content creator, I've been continuing to work on moving that needle. I'm slowly growing in views and subscribers, Twitch followers, Twitch viewers. On this past Friday's 5x5, I did a giveaway, and at one point, I think I capped out at around 7 or 8 viewers, which, is quite a lot compared to what I've been doing. Usually my cap was around the 5 viewer mark, and 4 was my pretty consistent cap. But for the large majority of, especially the last 3 hours of the stream, I maintained a solid 6 viewers. And, if you were one of the people who participated in the giveaway, if you were one of the people who followed because of the giveaway and found a new channel that you might enjoy, I just want to say thank you very much for your support. And I'm just very appreciative to be able to continue growing at this slow but consistent pace. It makes it very easy to deal with the growth in that I can adapt in the right way, or the way that I perceive to be the right way. And so, like I said, I had a very successful Friday 5x5. I also released Runt Looks At Sprint Robot Championship on Monday. And when I tweeted about it, the developer watched through the whole thing and reached out to me on Twitter as well as via email with some comments on my feedback, some comments about the direction of the game, and just in general wanted to thank me for the video. And that's the first direct developer interaction to that degree that I've had thus far. And I wanted to highlight that as one of the very exciting prospects of doing this, is being able to work a lot closer with indie developers on just learning about their games, growing with their communities, contributing to their success, all of those types of things. And in addition, it comes back around on me in that, in this particular case, the developer retweeted my tweet, and thus far, as you might expect, it is my most successful Runt Looks At video. I think it's sitting around 10 views right now, so it's not the highest viewed video on my channel, but of the Runt Looks At series, it is the most successful. And I'm just really grateful for the developer reaching out to me, and it's very exciting because this starts me down the path of getting more involved with the development community. Actually, just this morning before recording this episode, I joined the Nova Drift Discord, as I have been playing maybe a little bit too much Nova Drift. I have quite the backlog built up for YouTube. Initially, Saturdays were going to just be, I'm going to record a week's worth. Well, I have, I think, 4 extra days recorded, and have also been playing a lot on my own time. In addition, I just checked out the experimental branch with the Genesis update, and man, there's a lot of good stuff on there. I'm really excited to show off what's coming up, and I believe that it is officially coming out, that update is officially coming out March 27th. Should be on the beta branch here pretty soon. And so I would expect to see some Nova Drift Genesis update both on stream and on YouTube. But it's also been a fun way to interact with the community, and that's part of my enjoyment of this hobby, is interacting with these communities of gamers in, this outlet that I've been pouring my heart and soul into for, 2.5 decades, getting closer with people who also share in this hobby and these experiences, immediately hopping on the Discord and talking about different builds and looking at cool ideas that I hadn't heard before, being able to talk directly with the developers on the game. It's a wonderful experience. And, if you have an indie game that you're very much into, I would highly recommend checking out the Indie Developers Discord. It's really fun to be able to interact with other fans of the game, interact with the developers in particular. You can talk about features, you can help them find bugs, you can learn about how to access the experimental branches as they push new patches. You're in that early feedback loop a lot sooner. And I find it really interesting. I find it really entertaining. And I think it's a great addition to my enjoyment of these video games. Moving on, though, I wanted to briefly talk about the Check the Wire episode that came out this week from Dan Giesling and Northern Lion. This week there were a lot of good things. One of the main topics at hand was, if you had to choose Twitch or YouTube, which would you choose? And pretty much both of them, whether it be a cop-out or not, said do both. And that was kind of my perspective as well, and pretty much what I expected them to say. Ultimately, at this point, if you're a new content creator and you are actually looking to make money off of it, for me it's a hobby, but if you are looking to make money off of it, you can get monetization much quicker on Twitch than you can on YouTube. On Twitch, you need 50 followers and an average of 3 viewers across 30 days, and you can become a Twitch affiliate. And once you become a Twitch affiliate, then people can begin subscribing to your channel, and that's where you can get your friends and family to use their Amazon Prime account, link it to Twitch, and then give you a Twitch Prime subscription. However, YouTube takes 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before you can enable monetization on your channel. That's a much, much bigger hill to climb. However, in my opinion, the two intermingle in such a powerful way that I think that every content creator should do a combination of both. Because what it means is YouTube can be another platform to lead people to your Twitch streams, and vice versa. Not everyone wants to watch live streams, and not everyone enjoys watching Twitch VODs back. YouTube is a lot more digestible too. Especially the way that the average content creator, including myself, runs things, where you'll have these 20 or 30-minute episodes of Let's Plays. That's something you can watch real quick on your phone over a lunch break or something like that. And yeah, you certainly can go the route of chopping up your Twitch VODs and uploading those to YouTube. And a lot of content creators do that. I plan on doing that at some point once my internet is fixed and I can properly stream back at the quality that I would prefer to stream at, so that my Twitch VOD uploads to YouTube would actually be in high quality. And, I just found it really interesting what their viewpoints were on how you get started in both. And, I just continued to learn a lot from them. There were a lot of really interesting topics. I didn't necessarily write all of them down, but, it was just a lot of fun to see. And, in addition, some other success over the past week was I did a Slay the Spire daily last Wednesday, maybe. And maybe it was last Thursday. I don't remember when it was, but I did a Slay the Spire daily, and I stumbled across a small little UI bug. It was a great daily run, but my buffs got so long that it overlapped the enemy's buffs. And it was such a genuine reaction, my hysterical laugh, because I've been in that exact same situation as a developer where, you have to make UI compromises, and UI elements wrapping is one of those things that is like, hey, it's never going to get to the point where I need to worry about wrapping in case. And so, I had that reaction of, I've been there. I definitely know that it's like the farthest thing from a developer's mind. They're just like, you know what, I've got a million other things I want to do to make the game better. If someone manages to get enough buffs to overlap the enemies, so be it. More power to them. But I laughed and laughed. And I also cut the clip, and I posted it on Twitter, and I posted it to the Slay the Spire subreddit. And I ended up getting close to 700 views on it. I didn't get but maybe only 2 or 3 followers out of it. And, from a percentage-based standpoint, that definitely tells me that from an entertainment perspective, I still have a lot more growing to do. And that I can take that as a positive sign that people are interested in consuming this type of content still, even from new content creators. But you still have to carve out your own niche. It was just some random person laughing at a UI bug. And that can be entertaining to some. And like I said, I got a couple of followers off of it. But again, like, I take that from a perspective of, the next time I do something like that, the next time I have, a high view clip like that, I want it to be more entertaining. I want to be more engaging to my audience and really capture the emotion and, try to be more distinct with these types of things. And that's something that is difficult to do as a content creator. You come at it from the angle that ideally every single new content creator would be able to find their immediate niche, that you would find something that makes you unique right off the bat. The problem is, A, it's difficult to come up with that, and B, it's difficult to consistently execute on it. For me, I'm going the route of, I'm going to go in, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be myself at a little bit more of a professional level, and I kind of talked about this in the first Runt's Fireside chat, that I try to hold myself to a reasonably professional standard. Keeping things mostly PG rated. A couple PG-13 suggestive jokes here and there, but I try not to curse. I try to, be family friendly, because the last thing I want to do is alienate potential audience members. And just in general, I also feel like, and this is definitely opinion based, but I have seen some streamers who talk like they would in real life, that they're very casual, they curse incredibly often, and most of the time I tend to see that their chats are quite a bit more toxic than some of the communities that I prefer to hang out in, that do try to keep things a bit more family friendly. And so for me, that's kind of the persona that I want to personify. I want to really focus on being myself, but being, an upstanding version of myself, I guess is the way I would want to put it. And I'll let that niche find me. Because if I go out searching for the niche, then I'm basically admitting that I want immediate success. I want to go out there and be famous. And that's not what I want. I want to just be me. I want to record myself being me and playing video games and talking to you on a camera like this, reviewing things, streaming, whatever the case may be. And if you inherently find me entertaining or educational or good, which, I mean, let's be honest, nobody's going to follow me because I'm good, then that works out great for me, because I don't have to worry about, oh crap, people love me because I've been playing this character for the last 2 years. I have to keep being this character. I'm locked into it. That's also part of being a variety streamer, is I don't want people to identify me with a single game and be locked into playing that game for the rest of my content creation hobby. I much prefer the thought of you watch me because you like the games I play, or you find me entertaining, or that kind of thing, not because, hey, this guy is the X game streamer. You know, let's say right now I'm playing a bunch of Nova Drift. I don't want to become the Nova Drift streamer. If I do, I mean, sure, that's totally fine. I enjoy the game greatly, and I'm going to continue playing the crap out of it. But at the same time, I would also prefer to be able to keep a variety of content on my channels. And all of that, goes back to that initial point of being yourself as a content creator. Again, I really try to focus on not trying to be gimmicky, not trying to carve out my own niche right away, because I think that niche will find me as time goes by. And so, that would be my advice to up and coming content creators is I've already grown, 20-ish followers on Twitch, somewhere around the same on Twitter. I think I'm around 17 or 18 subscribers on YouTube. And I like to think I've done it organically, and I've done that in the first month. Some people may look at that and say, wow, that's really slow growth. I look at it and say, I'm really happy with the growth. Because it seems like, if you look at it on a week by week basis, I'm growing very, very steadily. And as long as the graph continues in an upward trend, then why would I worry about changing any aspects of myself? Obviously, you want to always be improving. And that's something that also you want to make sure you iterate, or reiterate, I should say, is always be improving, always be looking for ways to better yourself, better your stream, whether it be, adjusting your camera, adjusting the lighting, adjusting your microphone quality, trying out different games, messing with your overlays and logos and graphics and all that kind of stuff. But don't focus on the money. Don't focus on, I want to get to Twitch affiliate right away so I can start doing subscribers and subscriber only streams. My advice, from someone who has literally only done this a month, so take it with a grain of salt. Be yourself. Be happy and positive while you stream and play. And just get as naturally excited as you do. And people will feed off of that excitement. They will thrive in watching your adrenaline get pumping, your dopamine firing off as you're, accelerating through your game that you're playing. And, that can become infectious. And again, I will drive this point home a million times. I'm in this to make people happy. I'm in this to entertain people. If I can put a smile on one person's face each day, that'd make me the happiest person alive. So, I don't actually have like a natural pivot here because there's so many topics I want to talk about. But I think an interesting one to move towards is struggling with the overload of good games. Literally, this is about as first world problem as world problems get. Is legitimately Humble Bundle and Steam and Xbox Game Pass and Epic Game Store all doing sales and free games. This Humble's incredible bundles that pop up. I'm actually starting to drown in the number of games I get and not playing them enough. And it's funny because even with all of that, I'm finding it difficult to find games that I want to review. And part of it is because I'm not spending enough time playing a single game enough, or I'm picking up older games that are on sale that I think enough people out there have already done them justice. with their reviews and first impressions and things like that. I don't know that I would necessarily add much to the community by throwing my hat in the ring. And so it's been really interesting, picking up a bunch of new stuff and really finding more genres of games that I'm a lot more into than I thought. Now, I've been a huge turn-based strategy nerd, but finding more of these action roguelikes that I'm into, like Novidra, finding more 4X games to throw back into the loop, finding racing games that I hadn't played before, like adding Wreckfest into the mix has been fantastic. I love it. Rekindling my old love for Trackmania, one of my favorite games of all time. It's going to be a constant stream staple. It's going to be a constant, I'm lying in bed on my Steam Link playing it just as kind of a relaxing, mindless race around and get better times. I picked up Trials Rising on sale yesterday, and that's probably going to be on stream tonight. And, there's a wealth of good games. And again, like, I'm finding it very difficult to be able to focus in on one long enough to put a review in for. But I think that's a great problem to have. And I want to say this to the indie developers out there. I know there's a lot of competition for your games that are coming out, and that at times it's going to feel difficult to get the publicity for your game. And, that's why a big part of the reviews I do and the Runt9 Looks At videos I do, I'm going to try to focus on the smallest of the small indie games. Partially from the selfish perspective that it makes it more likely that I can get in closer touch with the developer and hear my feedback directly with them on the off chance that it makes the game better, like it happened with Sprint Robot Championship. But also from the perspective that as I continue to grow my channel, I would love to contribute to small-time indie developer successes, because, I hate the term hidden gem. It's very much overused, but there are a lot of hidden gems out there. Some of the games I play have, maybe a handful of reviews on Steam, and I would love to get more reviews on their game, get them more purchases. And so to those indie developers out there, just remember that the competition in the space is good, because you look at all these other games and it's driving you to be better. It's a great time to be a gamer. It really is a fantastic time to be a gamer. We're kind of continuing this indie golden age. And yes, I know it is difficult to get your game out there and get people playing it. But by continuing to increase or raise the bar of what's good and what isn't good in the indie gaming world, we're finding better and better and better games as time goes by. And in my opinion, I'm loving it. And I actually was working on my own roguelike game for a while, and I abandoned the project due to time constraints mostly. But I looked at it like, man, I really want to try to do what I can to make this game as good as it can be. Not because I want to make money with it. I was going to give it away for free because I feel like my first game deserved to be paid for. But I wanted it to be as good as it can be for my own personal pride, but also because if I can add something new to the roguelike genre, if I can add new ideas and new concepts out there, that means that it's highly likely that, one or two developers out there might happen to see it and say, hey, that's a great idea. I wonder if I can expand upon it. I wonder if I can take that concept and do it even better, add my own spin on it. And then I can turn around and play their game when they get done with it and have a great time. And, I think that's a great prospect. And I hope that at some point I do have time to go back to that game, because I really did enjoy the process. It just, like I said, kind of got to the point where it was a bit much from a time constraint perspective. And I'm terrible at artwork, and there's only so far you can go with free assets. anyways, we're coming up on that 30-minute mark. You know, it feels like I bounced around a bit more than I did last episode. Definitely still rambled, and you know, like I said, we are all going through a bit of a dark time right now, and if there's anything that I can do to be a light in this dark time, or anyone out there, you know, it's definitely something that I'm gonna do my best to be that light. Or be a light, not that light, I should say. No, that's really overselling myself. But again, you know, I hope you enjoyed your tea or whatever else you were sipping along with me. You know, I have been enjoying my raspberry tea here. I enjoyed interacting with everyone over the past week. I'm going to continue enjoying interacting with everyone. And, you know, like I said, I don't want to do advertisements at the end of Runt's Fireside Chat, so I'm going to continue to follow that paradigm. But just in general, I really appreciate all the support. The first Runt's Fireside Chat had a solid view count on it, and I'm really happy to see that people enjoyed watching it. And again, just in general, thank you all so much for watching this, for watching my other videos, for all the subscribers and followers, for deciding that you found my content enjoyable enough that you wanted to see more. It feels really great to know that there are people out there who find you interesting or entertaining enough to want to see more from you. And I'm going to keep doing this. I'm enjoying the heck out of it so far. And until the next episode of Runt's Fireside Chat, I'm Runt9, and I will see you later.